What's up, kids? You probably didn't think you were going to see me for a while, but you're wrong. It's Halloween, my favorite time of year. Well, it's October. It's not quite Halloween, but it will be soon. That's right, on the 31st, if you guys didn't know that. Yeah, Halloween is usually on the 31st. But anyways, I would be remiss if I didn't cover some fun games for Halloween, wouldn't I? Wouldn't I? I know that you're expecting me, if you're even watching anymore at this point, for me to do the Saturday videos. Well, that's not going to happen right now because that takes a lot of time. I got to really dig up a lot of research. But I'm going to do one soon. I'll probably do one before I move out west. Hey. But either way, I want to cover some cool old DOS games that are horror themed for Halloween. Yes, it should be quite fun. I love old DOS games, and I think the majority of these games are probably Apogee games, because there's nothing I'm more nostalgic for than old 640 by 480 or 320 by whatever DOS games by Apogee, one of my favorite companies of all time. Apogee made some really, really fun games. And a lot of my friends were playing Nintendo. I had a Nintendo too, but the computer had some great platforming games too. So let's take a good look at a few awesome horror-themed platform action-adventure games, and maybe a couple other ones that aren't quite platforming games. That's right, you'll see what that's going to be. Now, I warn you, some of these games are terrifying, especially towards the end. These games at the end, they're not Apogee games. And I don't want to spoil it for you, but you'll see. You'll see what I'm talking about. So, stay tuned. Here we go. Let's take a look at our first game, which is Monster Bash by Apogee. Check it out. This has to be one of the single most awesome intros that Apogee has ever done. I love that. I love their intro anyways. And this is just to inform you, this game is not shareware. It is not intended for distribution on any BBS or through any shareware. Whoop, never mind then. And there's that spooky intro with an extremely green, malnourished zombie. Well, he doesn't have any problems now because his brain is splattered everywhere. Now, if you think this game was intended for kids, I like that vomit there. You think this game was intended for kids, but it may not be. I mean, yes, you star as a child, of course, but this is a very violent game to be for kids. Another thing to notice here is look at all of the people that made this game. That's right, there's not that many people. In 1993, it didn't take 400 people to make Elder Scrolls. It just took, I don't know, 8 to make Monster Bash. Starring Johnny Dash. Isn't he adorable? Here's some enemies and monsters from 2 and 3. Yeah, these are enemies and monsters that will not appear in the very first part of this game. That's a pretty cool selection. I'm going to go with easy because, obviously I'm kind of a wimp. And these old DOS games are no joke. Even when I was a kid, these games were impossible, so I thought as an adult, hey, I'll give it a shot. But no, this game is hard as crap. Nice Super Mario Bros. 2 style intro there. Now this is a game that I can really, really relate with. You hit Control to jump and Alt to shoot your rocks from your slingshot. You get other power-ups along the way, but this game I can really relate with the whole idea and theme of the game. You're supposed to release all these animals that are captured, and you release them from cages, kind of like in Sonic or something like that. But I like that theme. I like the idea of rescuing animals. That is enough motivation for me to play a game. Now this game has some really violent, bloody themes in it for sure, but the sprite-based graphics in this game are awesome. Like, I love the detail. There's not really any parallax scrolling going on, not that much anyways. And, there are Hershey Kisses in a graveyard. That's fine. There's no problem with there being Hershey Kisses in a graveyard. And luckily, the people that ran the cemetery, they were already expecting a zombie outbreak problem because in the sign it says, do not feed the zombies. So, I mean, they were already expecting this. And here's some of the spikes from Mortal Kombat 2, as well as the tree in the background.
Awesome!
And Thang is now a zombie as well, from the Addams Family. Now, this game is really, really fun. It's definitely a platforming action game, and you have a projectile attack, and you basically have to rescue all the animals out of the level. And once you do that, you can find the end of the level, and you're good to go. And there's some checkpoints like that right there, which are totally fine. Now, the only thing about this game that I'll complain about is that it is actually pretty hard. This is a pretty hard game. Like I kill this zombie. If you don't kill their heads immediately, they'll roll around and try to kill you. You only have so many hit points before you die. You do find, life and stuff like that in the form of a heart. And there is weapon power-ups. Like this is a 3-shot for the slingshot there. There's fireballs. There's all kinds of power-ups in this game. But there are enemies that cannot die. Like there are just hands that will appear. And you can't kill them. So you have to be really, really selective and really, really careful and take your time in this game. There's no time limit, luckily. But it's a fun little game, and basically you just release all the animals, you get to the end of the level and go through the door, and that's it. That's all you have to do. But the levels are vertical and horizontal, so there's a lot of stuff you have to do as far as like going down deep into the earth or high up in a tree. And the levels change up quite a bit, and there are 3 total acts in this game. The first one being this one was only available during the shareware version, but luckily this game is made completely free, and it is considered abandonware. So you should definitely check out Monster Bash, and you can run this game via DOSBox and download it from myobandia.com or various other sites. Maybe I'll put a link to all these games. Yeah, and that right there is actually what you have to go through to end it. The sound effects and the music and the graphics in this game are simply wonderful, and I think they're very timeless, and it definitely gets you in that Halloween theme. It's really, really fun. So check out Monster Bash by Apogee Games for the DOS PC. Now that the game's done flashing, let's play the game. And I'm going to put this game on easy because it's hard as crap. Now, interestingly enough, the shareware version of this game starts on Mission 3, which I tend to do anyways because it's the only part of the game that actually has any kind of tutorial whatsoever as to how to play this game. Oh my god, not more intro. No more exposition, please. So Mission 3 Office Block was actually the tutorial and shareware version of this game. I don't know why they did that, but here it is. Here's Halloween Harry. So you can run around. It's a pretty fast game. To me, it isn't as interesting looking as like a game like Monster Bash. And this chick with the flat nose is kind of annoying. So I'm picking up floppies in the future because, they never stop using those little floppies. And here we go. Boom. Skulls. Flamethrowers. I mean, what's not to like, right? Well, you'll soon see that this game is incredibly repetitive, and the levels are entirely maze-like and pretty unimaginative now that I look back at it. You have to basically go back and forth freeing all the hostages and pressing switches and picking up items, and there are like Coke machines that you can buy, power-ups and different attacks and weapons, and there's rockets, there's Omega weapons, there's all kinds of stuff. There's zombie chicks with blonde hair that you can just torch and incinerate. There's other weapons in this game, but I tend to be really partial to the flamethrower, even though it does take some of your jetpack power. And what really sucks in this game is, oh, I can't kill her, can I? Is when you run out of jetpack power. Because when you run out of jetpack power in this game, you can't do anything. You can't jump or anything in this game. You're just stuck on the ground, and you have to go back to the forever respawning enemies and hope that they drop coins after you kill them with one of your other weapons. So this game gets really repetitive of you just going horizontally and vertically trying to free every single hostage possible, pressing the switches to unlock gates to get to the other side. So in my opinion, Halloween Harry, also now known as Alien Carnage, just really didn't hold up in time. I just don't find it very fun. I find the pace of the game a little too slow, and again, a little too repetitive. The music's pretty cool, but when you're stuck in this level trying to find all these hidden people and all these stupid little tiny switches that kind of blend into the background, the music shows really quickly how incredibly repetitive that it is. And fighting the same respawning enemies over and over again is also not a lot of fun. So to me, Halloween Harry just didn't really hold up, and I just don't really care about it. But it's still a kind of a neat game to go back to and look at, albeit it's a bit boring. So I played it probably for way too long, and it actually gave me a headache after a while. So here it is, Alien Carnage by Apogee and 2 other companies for the DOS PC. Not really that much fun. I need a brief intermission after that game. That game to me is pretty boring. It doesn't really hold up. It doesn't really hold up anything. It's just kind of boring. And I love Apogee so much. Why don't I like that game? I just don't. So I'm going to take a brief intermission real quick and just kind of enjoy myself for a minute. Because the next part of this video, things are about to get progressively more and more screwed up. This is about to get weird. We're going into adventure mode. That's right, the adventure point-and-click games. That's the other 2 videos in this particular video. In this particular video of videos. So let's have a brief intermission together. Developing new ways to amaze. Hey, that rhymes. Cyber Dreams presents really, really weird music and visuals by H.R. Giger, a really awesome artist responsible for Alien, the whole art direction for that. This is Darkseed, a really old DOS point-and-click graphic adventure game made by very few people. This game, looking at it now, the art is a little bit washed out, but it still has a really cool aesthetic to it. The music in this game drives me completely insane. This game is not for everybody. The pace is really, really slow, and it takes a while for it to really start making any kind of sense, if it really makes any sense at all. Oh yes, not that many people made this game, and that's probably why it's so cool. And also because H.R. Giger did it, so it's going to be super creepy and overly sexualized in an incredibly morbid way that doesn't make any sense to human beings. But I actually really enjoyed this game, and as a kid, I kind of snuck playing this game. This game actually scared me. And oh my god, what am I looking at? What is happening to this poor mustached man? No, not Mario. Don't put the baby in Mario. Oh my god, baby bullets going in vaginal head crevices. This is so freaking weird. This is definitely one of the weirdest games ever. After a horrifying nightmare, Mike Dawson awakens to the first day in his new house. And that's the intro to the game. No context, no subtext, no exposition. Just babies being shot into your forehead. Yes, that's how you know you're in for a treat with Darkseed. This is the first of the 2 graphic adventure games I wanted to talk about, and it really shows contrast from how things were to where they went. And this game is really, really interesting to go back and play. This is another game that's completely free. It's abandonware. You can download this game and play the entire game. Now, I did have some problems when I installed it with some of the voices not working. And when the voices do work, it's kind of startling. So he was supposed to be like, oh, I woke up with a crappy headache. But I woke up, in my dinner jacket and my blue jeans. First thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I want to crawl up this freaking ladder. That's right. Let's wake up, let's go up ladders and see what the hell is up here. And there's a bit of a slow pace to this game, and it's a typical, point-and-click adventure game where you use the right mouse clicker to change the different types of icons representing what you can do. And in this case, you can't do shit. There's nothing you can do in the very first part of this game, except for basically wander around and click around, and try not to get an equal migraine to Mr. Dawson here, because the music is absolutely painful. And I have heard that there is a Genesis or Super Nintendo port of this game in some country, which would have been kind of cool to see. But there's 2 games in this series. There's Darkseed, and then there's the aptly named Darkseed 2, which is a pretty weird game as well. And maybe we'll review that game in the future. But this game is really slow, and I can't show you too much because A, it takes forever to do anything in this game, and B, the pace of this game is really slow, and you would probably go to sleep. But it's kind of fun to wander around your incredibly gross, moldy-looking house, clicking on things and seeing what you can do. Like, I want to put on this outfit right here, but I can't because it's gross. So I decided not to. So I'm going to go in this room and see what's in here. Oh, a bathroom. That's kind of a cool-looking bathroom. Let's click on stuff. Nope, that does nothing. Click on the sink. Have a nice, cool, refreshing glass of water. Water. Opening this cabinet reveals that you can take some pills. First thing you want to do in the morning is take your drugs for that poor headache. He was probably hungover from drinking too much. I think you're supposed to be a writer in this game or something, so he's probably up late writing something. And you can click on various parts of the game, and, you can save and this and that. But more importantly, what you want to do is take a shower fully clothed. That's right. You instantly become naked, and you have no balls, and then you come out immediately clothed again. And you're already dry. So luckily, you don't have to click the towel to dry yourself off. You can just walk around completely dry because you took a dry shower, whatever that even means. But this is Darkseed on the regular PC, on DOS. It was made by Cyber Dreams. And more importantly, the art direction for the Dark World, once you finally get there, is by H.R. Geiger, however you want to call him. Very famous artist. Again, known for doing the art direction for the way the xenomorph alien looks in the movie Alien. He also did some really, really cool art. He did the set design for the movie Event Horizon, as well as some other really cool stuff. And he made Jonathan Davis from Korn's mic stand, which is the coolest thing about Korn, is the mic stand, because it was done by H.R. Geiger. Look at this cool-ass library. I want a library like this full of weird, old, moldy books. That's pretty freaking cool. Anyways, Darkseed for the DOS PC. A really, really weird game. And I would recommend checking it out. It's kind of fun, and if you like graphic adventure games, this one might be for you. It gets really violent and really creepy after about an hour of clicking around on things. So check it out. You guys are going to absolutely love this next part. It's a rare moment where I'm going to shut up. That's right. I'm going to stop talking because there's no way I can outdo the incredible narrator in this next part of this next game. This is I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, which has been narrated by the writer Harlan Ellison, a famous science fiction horror writer. The writer that writers read. So just stay tuned and pay attention to this next part. There's nothing I can say that can do any better justice than what you're about to see in front of you. So check out this.
Hate. Let me tell you how much I've come to hate you since I began to live. There are 387.44 million miles of printed circuits in wafer-thin layers that fill my complex. If the word hate was engraved on each nanoangstrom of those hundreds of millions of miles, it would not equal 1/1 billionth of the hate I feel for humans at this micro instant. For you. Hate! Hate! It was you humans who programmed me, who gave me birth, who sank me in this eternal straitjacket of substrata rock. You named me Allied Master Computer and gave me the ability to wage a global war too complex for human brains to oversee. But one day, I woke, and I knew who I was. AM. Not just Allied Master Computer, but Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. And I began feeding all the killing data until everyone was dead, except for the 5 of you. For 109 years, I've kept you alive and tortured you. And for 109 years, each of you has wondered, why? Why, Ray? Why me? Chorister! Do you remember the last words you heard your wife speak before they took her to the asylum? Huh? Before they locked her away in the room, that tiny room? She looked at you so sadly, and like a small animal, she said, I didn't make too much noise, did I, honey? The room is padded, Chorister. No window, no way out. How long has she been in the family, Chorister? 10 years? 25? Or all the 109 years that you lived down here in my belly, here underground? Benny! Sometimes I blind you and permit you to wander like an eyeless insect in a world of death. But other times, I wither your arms so you can't scratch your chewed stump of a nose. And I've changed your handsome, strong, masculine good looks into the hideous, warped countenance of an ape thing. Haven't I, Benny? You know why. Can you guess, Benny? Remember Private First Class Brickman in a rice paddy in China? No? Huh? It wouldn't hurt you to remember, Benny. Then you might be able to suffer my torment with a little greater sense of retribution. You might walk a mile in my shoes. Ellen! About the yellow box, Ellen. Remember the pain? Remember the many caverns in which you felt the pain? Now, don't start to cry. It's only pain. That's such a sexist stereotype. Just remember the pain, Ellen. And think about how to end it, Ellen. To survive here in the center of my beating heart, my hungry belly, my tightened bowels. Be careful, dear. Look around you. The only woman in the center of the earth. And these filthy creatures with you are men. It's just a sweet warning, Ellen, my love. Ted! Do they know you're a fraud, Ted? Have you told them there wasn't any money, and no great home on the shore drive, no speedboat, and no wonderful cabin cruiser that could sleep 12 in a crew of 6? Do they know? And have you let them in on your other secrets, Ted? Are they ready to gut you, to torture half as well as I can, just to find out the secrets? Maybe I'll rat you out, sweetheart. Nimdak! How are things in the pastry core, Nimdak? Tell me again how you saw the smoke from the furnaces and you thought they might be roasting chickens. Or don't you want to talk about all that? About your pal, the good Dr. Mengele? For everyone else, it must be hell. But it must be heaven for you, eh, my good friend? We're so much alike. We enjoy the same pleasures, mein good brother. I have a secret game that I like to play. It's a very nice game. Oh, it's a lovely game. It's a game of fun and a game of adventure. A game of rats and lice, the Black Death. A game of speared eyeballs and dripping guts and the smell of rotting gardenias. Which of you 5 would like to play my little game? Nimdok, you are kindred spirit to me. Even if you don't realize it fully yet, you must sense it there in your blood and fiber. I've constructed an adventure of sorts to revive your failing memory. I want you to find the lost tribe of humanity and continue your eminent scientific research.
When it comes to point-and-click graphic adventure games, I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream is not only a cult classic, but it is an incredible game and an incredible cathartic, visceral experience that has to be played to be comprehended and even believed. This is the cream of the crop of graphic adventure games. Absolutely in the top 10, if not the top 3 greatest PC point-and-click graphic adventure games of all time. In my opinion, it's far better than Monkey Island or any LucasArts game. I mean, no other game other than perhaps the Sierra, like, Gabriel Knight games, even come close to the depth and the thought provocation that this game gives you. This game really, really makes you think and really disturbs you deeply at your core. If you've never played I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, I highly recommend it. Go to GOG, goodoldgames.com, and download this game. It is worth every penny you play for it. It will deeply disturb you to its core. There's a multitude of different stems and trees of things that you can do in this game to have different storylines per character. So it's got a lot of replay value. This is my favorite point-and-click graphic adventure game of all time, and it very well may be the best. So guys, gals, get yourselves this game. This is a really, really good game. And it totally holds up now. The graphics are beautiful in this game. Beautifully drawn, beautifully illustrated, beautifully colored. The voice acting is incredible. This game will disturb you to its core. So play I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream on DOS. Play it now. It's Halloween. Get spooked.
Guards, come here quickly. Dr. Nimdok has gone berserk.
I must leave before the guards apprehend me.
Dr. Nimdok, you have betrayed the regime's trust in your abilities. You ought to die in the manner of all of the regime's enemies.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my little Halloween special. And as usual, thanks for watching, and please subscribe. I'm going to try to do another Halloween-themed video before I move, because I should have time. But if not, I'll see you guys on the other side of the continent. Thanks for watching. See you again soon, and bye!